make it. Too many people, they don't let me down, but I keep it real, no time for hating. I'm always on that PC trying to shape my sound. See, I'm just trying to make it. I've got some people I cannot let it down. Aiming for the top of the mountain. Not there yet, but I've left the ground. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
I need my oldest. Come on, oldest. Come on, come on. And I need to take hit of my cigarette real quick. Right? All right, yeah, we can get into it, man. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Y'all to another one, man. Another episode of Let's Talk with J. Rich Florida, man. If you're watching over on Let's Talk with JVJ, if you're watching over on the JVJ Network, if you're watching over on Let's Talk with JVJ on Facebook, do your boy a favor. And I really mean this, y'all. I really mean this, y'all. Do your boy a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share the videos, turn the noties on. We trying to grow around here. And I can only do it with y'all help. So help your boy out, man. I hope everybody doing all right. We got cop night tonight, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know exactly what time it is. It's cop night. And we gonna talk about them cops, man. Look, man, we living in America in 2025, y'all. For all my people overseas, man, look. We living in America in 2025, y'all. And we got some problems that we need to talk about. We got some problems and we not finna bullshit with it, y'all. We not finna bullshit it with it at all. And look, I got my boy Op in here as always. He's telling me to turn my shit down. You know I like to come in strong, man. I like to come in here strong, man. I'm just Man, look, man. We about to get serious, man. Look, I really do appreciate all y'all coming through around here, man. I try to do my little alter ego, man. You know, yeah, some people ain't feeling it. Yeah, fuck y'all. But yeah, we talking about the police tonight, man. There was a very interesting situation that happened in another state, man. Not my state, because y'all know I stay in Alabama, man. And you know we have our problems down here. I'll never sit around and try to deny that nonstop. Whether it's on the legal side, the justice side, the police side, or whether it's just on the civilian side. I think we all have those issues. But there was a situation that happened in another state. I'm not going to name it. I'm going to let the civil rights lawyer actually break it down. Shout out to him again, man. For real, man. Shout out to his channel, man. Y'all go check this man out. The civil rights lawyer, man. Go check him out. Great content, great work. And it saved me a lot of time for having to go find these videos myself and compile them together, because he's doing a great job himself, so I can just react to it. But we're going to get into it, man. There was a situation that happened between a police officer and a civilian. The only issue is, matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you. Get your popcorn, get your weed, or whatever you need, because we about to get into it. And if y'all ready, we about to do it. So either way, though, take that thing away, sir.
A police department in Pennsylvania reported to the public and the media that they had arrested this guy, Benny, for resisting arrest, assaulting an officer, and then fleeing the scene.
Not Benny! Not Benny! Hold on, man. Hold on. Show the picture of Benny again.
Guy Benny for resisting.
Benny! Benny, no!
Shame. 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 Shame.
And they did my boy Benny wrong. What they did to Benny?
Arrest, assaulting an officer, and then fleeing the scene. Benny was in a lot of trouble, but fortunately for him, he was able to obtain surveillance footage that showed what really happened was that Benny was just headed to work on his motorcycle, and he ends up getting attacked by this crazy-looking off-duty police chief in a road rage incident where he gets physically assaulted, attacked, and guns pointed at him out of literally nowhere, then runs away for his life. Tell me what you think. Who is the criminal here, and who was the victim?
The civil rights lawyer. Go check him out, y'all. YouTube. I don't know what else he on. He might be on TikTok and shit like that. Instagram, Facebook shit. I don't know, but check him out on YouTube, y'all. He put out great content. We got to find out about this situation with my boy Benny, bro. Look, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and I hope y'all paying attention. Listen to me when I say this.
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
That's all I got to tell you. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel, where my mission is to protect and defend your constitutional rights.
We don't need to know all
Please
that.
help by not only subscribing.
We don't need to know all that. Look, we don't need to know all that. Y'all like, subscribe, and share over here. And if you feeling froggy, become a channel member, y'all. Because we back monetized around this hole. Let's get it.
And other videos that I do don't happen to other people. According to a press release issued by the Manheim Township Police Department in Pennsylvania, this man, Benny Xavier Pena Rivera, was arrested on multiple serious charges, including 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of evading arrest, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of DUI-related something, and 5 counts of vehicle code violations. This is what they said happened. Around 5:13 p.m. on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, Chief Fisher was in the area of Lidditz Park and Chester Road. He was behind a black motorcycle that was not displaying a Pennsylvania registration plate. The motorcycle ran a red light on Lidditz Pike and York Road, passed vehicles on the right, rode up onto the sidewalk, weaved between vehicles, and did not use a turn signal. Chief Fisher attempted to stop the motorcycle in the area of 1900 Fruitville Park. Chief Fisher was in an unmarked police vehicle and identified himself as Manheim Township Police. The rider started the motorcycle as Chief Fisher attempted to stop him from leaving. The suspect, later identified as Benny Pena Rivera, ignored orders to turn off the motorcycle, shoved Chief Fisher, and attempted to drive away. Pena Rivera got off the motorcycle, and it was between him and Chief Fisher. Pena Rivera used the bike to push Chief Fisher and make an escape on foot. A search of the area ensued. Pena Rivera was identified as the rider by police investigation. So that was the official.
And here, like he said, he about to tell y'all. But look, y'all heard everything that they said transpired throughout this situation, man. This dude was riding crazy across the road like he was in, like, what was it, Fast and the Furious? Like how they be doing on the movies. He cutting in all the traffic, jumping on the sidewalk, going back and forth. This cop trying to stop him. Gotta have his lights and the sirens, everything blaring. Even though he undercover, off duty, or whatever they said, this guy trying to stop this guy, man. And then when he finally catch up to him, y'all, this guy fight the cop. He fight him, and then he get away, and they ended up getting the dude later. Let's watch the video, because, you know, we always talk about these heroes on the police force. You know, they always want to honor these motherfuckers. Man, you know, I went through all this crazy thing. He was driving crazy. I had to go. He on a motorcycle, but somehow I caught him in traffic in my SUV. You know, crazy shit like that. Let's see what actually happened.
Police narrative as of their press release dated May 2nd, but Benny knew that's not how it happened. Here's what he told the local TV news.
I actually saw him on the road, on the traffic light that he said that I ran, but he actually waved at me and everything, like, you know, hello, and everything just went normal.
So as far as he knew, he saw a guy not in a police car, not wearing a police uniform, wave at him. He thought he was saying hello. Then he arrives at work, he parks his motorcycle, and as he prepares to get off to go inside.
Man, y'all see this guy that done evaded police and shit, pulling up at the back of his job. He evaded them, man. He pulled up all slow and shit. Watch how slow he backed this hoe up.
At his place of employment, the guy he thought was saying hello earlier in traffic pulls up and jumps out of his not police car in his not police clothing, but pointing a gun.
All I heard it was on the ground, I will shoot you.
Did y'all notice how long it took for him to even notice that the cop pulled up? Now, this is a guy that evaded police, y'all. Swerved through traffic, jumped up on the curb, all this shit. Look, count the seconds, y'all.
Pulls up and
all right, right here. You see, we got right here.
Jumps out of his not police car in his not police clothing, but pointing a gun.
All I heard it was on the ground.
That boy turned around at 18 seconds, y'all. That was almost 8 seconds. And I got this shit sped up a little bit, y'all, so it's a little faster here on my side. But, bro, this dude didn't even notice this guy. For a guy that just ran away from the police, you think they're going to take the time to park their bike and do all that shit? Or you think they're just going to fucking kick the stand off real quick, like let that bitch be where it is and run? And why would you run to your job? Either way, though, let's keep going, man, because you know this cop, he's a hero.
On the ground, I would shoot you. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? You know, what's the reason for all this to be happening at all? And all of a sudden, I just have a gun on my face, like literally on my face. And then on top of that, he's wrestling with me with the gun and everything. If it wasn't because I actually flee out of the season, I don't even know what would even happen.
This surveillance footage that was later obtained shows the police chief, Dwayne Fisher, exiting his car that has no lights on it, no emergency lights at all, no indication that it's a police car. Get out of his car wearing shorts, short sleeve shirt, clearly not a police uniform, no indication that he's a police officer, aiming a pistol and approaching Peña Rivera, who's sitting on his motorcycle, then physically grabs Peña Rivera by the shoulder, pushing him. And after a few seconds, the police chief holsters his gun, and the two continue to grapple until Fisher pulls Peña Rivera off the motorcycle and eventually out of the camera's view. Peña Rivera told the TV news that he fled the scene and then he ran back to his house. Chief Fisher would only turn on his police lights after Peña Rivera left the scene. Police later located Peña Rivera and arrested him. So the guy is then...
Shame. 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 Shame.
So this guy done rolled up on this guy. Up the gun on this guy, y'all. Up the gun on him. Wrestled with him, pushed him all up against the side of the building, put his gun back in his holster, pulled him off the bike, grabbed his shirt a little bit over his head, and dude wiggle out of that thing and took off running. Then once he saw his co-workers come outside the building, then he turns on his police lights. Now remember what they told us, y'all. Remember what the police report is. This officer was trying to pursue this individual who was swerving through traffic, running red lights, riding on the sidewalk. If he was doing that, his lights would have been on, right? He didn't turn his lights on until after the people, his co-workers, came outside of the building. But this is the police report. You know how we got that saying, believe all women? Well, we got one that's even worse than that one. We got something called believe all cops and the police department. Let's keep going.
Sitting in jail because he can't post bail. A preliminary hearing is scheduled
And they got him in jail too. Oh, they tripping.
for May 14th. So May 14th rolls around, and all of a sudden there's an update in the TV news story
What's the
about
update?
this arrest. It said, update, charges dropped against Lidditz man accused of resisting arrest, assaulting police officer. Prosecutors dropped the most serious charges against Benny Xavier Peña Rivera, 24, who was instead pleading guilty to 6 summary traffic offenses. Why? Well, according to Lancaster Online, a video of the alleged confrontation between Peña Rivera and the arresting officer in the April 30th incident appears to conflict with the Manheim Township Police Department's account of the incident. Then a day or two later, there's another update in the media. Fox 43 reported that Chief Dwayne Fisher, following the appearance of this video, has now been placed on administrative leave pending investigation by the department. Lancaster County District Attorney Heather Adams released the following statement after the charges were dropped at that first court hearing. The Mannheim Police Department and the parties agreed with the resolution of the charges in this manner based on the facts and circumstances of this case. We are not investigating this incident. The Lancaster County District Attorney's Office does not investigate use of force or internal policy violations of police departments that do not rise to the level of a potential criminal act. Okay, but why would the Mannheim Police Department agree to the charges being dropped? They said that this guy assaulted a police officer and fled the scene. So they just let him plead guilty to traffic violations. Why would they be okay with that? In fact, they
Tell you why. I'll tell you why they agreed to
The
that.
lie detector test determined that was a lie.
That's why they agreed to that. And I'm sorry for the young man because obviously he don't got no money on his side. He ain't had no family enough to go try to do a GoFundMe or whatever. Because, you know, they're raising money for white women that call black kids a nigga. Obviously, they didn't have the wherewithal to do that. But I wouldn't have pled guilty to nothing, man. I wouldn't have pled guilty to nothing. But they dropped the serious charges. That's probably how they got him. It was like, look, we can put you away for a long time, buddy. But if you plead guilty to this shit right here, we'll drop the assault on the officer and stuff. You know, those are felonies right there. You can do 5 to 10 for that. That's probably how they came and talked to him. And they probably didn't give him a lawyer because he probably don't know his rights. And y'all, you know I'm going to sit around here and talk about people's rights later on today. Y'all know I'm going to do it. But these motherfuckers are dirty. These are some dirty motherfuckers for what they did. And see, my boy, I was saying, you starting to get on my nerves with that damn Shane video. Hey, I got something for you.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Shame on you. Don't be talking about my Shane video. You better go watch Game of Thrones. You know what we talking about. But either way, though, these folks doing some fucked up shit. I'm going to let them keep going, though.
still have this press release up on their website where they accuse Benny of all sorts of serious crimes. Do you think that there is an update press release where they say that all the charges are dropped? No, of course not. And the DA who dropped the charges against Benny said that there's no criminal investigation because they don't get involved in police disciplinary policy issues. Well, wait a minute. Now, generally, when we jump out of our car and we aim a gun at somebody on a motorcycle and we physically assault them, drag them off the motorcycle, etc., we get in trouble for that if we're not a police officer. What she's really saying is that it's her opinion that what he did was justified. If that's true, why drop the charges? You know what? I think she knows that that's not true. She just takes the position that some people are above the law. Really, no crimes at all were committed here? Let's look back at the official police narrative, the official police statement, and compare that with the
Let's look at it here, and this is where we're going to get in depth with it, y'all, because I do have an issue, and I really did have an issue when I saw this video. The DA decided to drop charges, some of the charges on the guy, not all of them, some of them, but also said that the cop did nothing wrong. This is off-duty police officer, never turned on his lights, never identified himself as a cop, just pulled up on somebody and upped the gun on him, then put his hands on him, assaulted the guy. She said no criminal activity was conducted on the officer side. None whatsoever. Well, let's look at the police report. Let's look at this so-called arrest data that they put out and gave to the public because it's still on their website. So let's see what they put out here.
The video where they busted red-handed lying to the media and the public about what they did. The statement said Chief Fisher was in an unmarked police vehicle and identified himself as Mannheim Township Police. Yet the video shows that this was an unmarked car and that there were no emergency lights activated until after this incident. Was entirely over. The statement said the writer started the motorcycle as Chief Fisher attempted to stop him from leaving, that he pushed and shoved Chief Fisher and attempted to drive away, and that Pena Rivera got off the motorcycle and it was between him and Chief Fisher. Is that what the video showed? Or did the video show that the chief of police jumped out of the car with no emergency lights on, no uniform on, and approached this individual, pointing a gun at him, and physically put his hands on Pena Rivera and himself pulled Pena Rivera off the motorcycle? The statement said Pena Rivera used the bike to push Chief Fisher and make an escape on foot. Is that what happened, really? Or does the video completely show that to be a lie? That's not what happened at all. He did not.
It looked like the officer, in my honest opinion, yanked him off the motorcycle. But I know what the people that love to defend cops and will give cops the benefit of the doubt, no matter what, even if they're presented with evidence to show that the cops are lying. This is what they would tell me if I came around and said that cop lying.
You need to leave.
Yeah, that's what them boot-licking motherfuckers will say. This cop clearly came up and assaulted this guy, pointed a gun at this guy. But in their official, remember y'all, official police report, you didn't know who this guy was and you didn't see this video, man. My boy Benny would have been everything but a child of God, and he would deserve to have the book, the law thrown at him. But the problem is we have the video. And that's going to lead to a greater point later on. But either way, I'm going to let him keep going.
Not use the bike to push the chief and make an escape. That was a complete fabrication created at a time when this police department believed that there was no video footage of what happened. Perhaps that's why he had the emergency lights off of his cruiser, because that may have...
Hey, I see his coworkers then came outside. They looking, y'all. They looking. What'd he do when he come back?
Activated a dash cam that would have recorded what actually happened. They thought there was no video footage, so they lied. They incarcerated.
Like, this fat, this little fat fucker right here can't run. He can't chase shit. He can't chase shit. He ain't want to catch a body today, but he did want to fuck somebody up. His fat ass wasn't gonna chase nothing, even though he got on them little slip-on shoes that he bought out of goddamn probably Costco or some shit like that. Costco or Sam's Club. But watch what he do now that he see his coworkers out there with a gun still in his hand. Watch what he do.
A man who at best had committed minor traffic offenses for days and days, weeks, tried to destroy his life. And they weren't going to do the right thing. They weren't going to tell the truth. Nobody was, until the video surfaced, thanks to this guy himself or his lawyers, and put it on the news. The only thing that protects you, that protects me from our government, is video footage. This is a great example of that. Who are we going to believe, the Manheim Township Police or our lying eyes? We can see what this looks like. This looks like your everyday road rage incident, which, by the way, appears to happen all the time with off-duty police officers. I mean, maybe he wasn't off-duty. Maybe it's their policy for this guy to not wear a uniform and to instead wear shorts and not activate his emergency lights, and so on and so forth. Or perhaps it was a road rage incident that was covered up because they didn't believe it was caught on video and disguised as, hey, we caught a criminal. He attacked a police officer. We have to pack the blue. We're going to give him a high bond, keep him incarcerated, and he is going to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. So we have a victim, an innocent victim. Okay, he committed traffic violations. We have punishments for that. He apparently pled guilty to that. But a much more serious crime was committed by this chief of police. And while he may end up getting disciplined, he may end up getting fired. Even if that happens, that's not enough. Nobody is above the law, right? No force was justified here, much less deadly force. Quite the opposite, actually. What would we do as law-abiding citizens if somebody breaks in our home or attacks us with a firearm where there's no indication it's a police officer, where it appears as if we're being attacked by a criminal? If somebody attacks us in that manner, it would be reasonable for us to use deadly force, but only if we're protected by video footage. And here, it saved this guy from these serious criminal charges. Even so, the government is still not willing to take responsibility and accountability. This district attorney is gaslighting you, and now you know. Like I asked you in the beginning, in your opinion, who is the criminal here? And if you want to help, remember, the only thing they're afraid of is other people seeing what you just watched. So share the footage far and wide, and subscribe both here.
Man, shit, look, I want y'all to definitely share the video. I want y'all to definitely share the video. You had to do, and I really wish I was able to speak to people like this, but I couldn't speak to him. So I'm speaking to y'all. Don't plead to fucking shit. I understand that they are trying to hold you in jail. They're keeping your freedom away from you. But you sitting in there is only going to build your case for a wrongful arrest and your constitutional rights being violated. Don't plead just to get out of jail when you have not done anything wrong. I am not sure this guy broke the law when it comes to traffic violations. I'm not sure of that. My sense of the situation is telling me that he pleaded to say that, yeah, I did that so he could get his ass out of jail. I truly believe that's what happened. He pleaded to something to get his ass out of jail. And I'll tell all of y'all, don't fucking do it. Do not fucking do it. Because these people are so willing, that so-called law and order people, the people that are above the rest of us, you know, they carry themselves to a higher standard than we can even think about it. They lied. You had one officer that lied on this man. It said that he assaulted him. He ran away from him. He was in a hot pursuit chase. And if that's the case, the video does not back it up, buddy. This guy didn't even turn around for about 8 seconds. Once you pulled up, you was already out the car, around the door with a gun in his face before he even recognized that you were there. But this is the same guy that ran away from you on a motorcycle, weaving through traffic, riding on the sidewalk, running red lights. You was chasing him with no lights on, no sirens, no nothing. And he didn't notice you? Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense, man. We have too many of these incidents that happen in society that I ain't even gonna say, I'm gonna re-op comment. I'm saying public defenders trick their clients to plead guilty all the time. Hell yeah, they do. Public defenders work for the city. They work for the state. And people need to be very mindful about this public defender shit. They need to be very mindful about this public defender. Oh, they give you a public defender. These people are on the same payroll as the people that's prosecuting. I'm being dead serious with you, man. Folks need to really understand that. They're on the same payroll as the people that are prosecuting your ass. They have an incentive to do their job. And what's their job is? To make sure the prosecutor get a goddamn conviction. I done dealt with a public defender before. One time in my entire life, dealt with a public defender. First thing out of his mouth, man, just gonna plead to this. It won't be that bad, man. You know, it'll be on your record, but you ain't gonna do no jail time. You already been sitting in jail. That's what they be talking about. That's what they be talking about. They always say they're overworked and they got a big caseload, so they just trying to get through the case. Well, you shouldn't be a public defender if that's your case. If that's the situation that you in and that's how you feel about it, don't be a public defender. If you overcome, you're overwhelmed by the job that you do, by the situation that you're in with the job that you do, you don't need to be doing it. You need to find somebody else to step in. But a lot of motherfuckers keep sitting around here acting like, oh, a public defender. It's kind of like that situation where you have the guy who supposedly, allegedly, ran over a police officer after seeing video, which we're going to still cover that video. I ain't doing it tonight, but we're going to cover that video. He saw a video of the police deleting his son, and supposedly him seeing that the next day or whatever, went out and just ran a cop over. Just mauled him over. Some random cop. They're mad right now. We have the public, mainly white America, is mad that black folks actually are raising money for this guy to actually get a defense. It's like they're raising money for a killer. We just saw what happened in this situation. I think somebody might want to raise some money because the public defender have you plead to some shit that you didn't fucking do. Let's say this guy's innocent. He wasn't even driving the car. Let's say he was mentally insane. Let's say anything. They had the same energy for Carmelo Anthony. They're raising money for him. They claim that was the reason why they raised money for the white woman that called that 5-year autistic kid a nigga. Y'all raised money for that black kid to stab that white kid, so we're going to raise money for a white woman that called a little black kid, a 5-year-old autistic kid, an N-word. And they really stood on that. Like they said something. It's like, really? You think you got good footing on that one, right? Good grounding. Okay. Carla, how you see it, man? I just know it's a lot of bullshit going on around in this world right now. But I got one more for you, y'all, because we had a situation where self-defense was brought into play. And shout out to the Law and Crime Network. I really don't need to give y'all a shout out because y'all already do y'all thing. Y'all big up on here. Y'all real big on YouTube and shit. But there was a situation that popped off. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do Law and Crime. I'm actually just gonna pull up the actual regular news report of this because it ain't really no point. It ain't really no point of me doing all that. Let's see if I can find it. Where did shit happen at? Was it in Virginia? Because I don't know if a lot of people heard about this situation. I told you it's not gonna be a long fucking show tonight. I ain't really trying to go too hard because I got things to do in the morning. Ding dong ditch. Let me see. Shooting. Yeah, this is shooting. Maybe that helped me. I had it in here earlier, y'all, but I kind of lost it. Yeah. I found it. I don't know why they showed Diddy in the very beginning of this video, y'all. So disregard them showing Diddy. I really don't know why the fuck Diddy popped up in here, but y'all gonna see Diddy when I bring the screen up. I don't know why the fuck that is. I guess because this happened around the same time the trial started for Diddy and shit. But pretty much the situation. Matter of fact, I ain't finna tell y'all the situation. I'm gonna just let them tell you. So let me slide down here and let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna slow it down. It ain't gotta be that fast for this one because this shit ain't that long. But either way, though, let's check it out.
Tonight, an investigation into a weekend shooting in Spotsylvania County. The entire community is debating the details of the case where 3 teenagers accused of breaking and entering a home on Mackenzie Lane were shot at. 2 of the teens were shot. One of them, a high school senior, killed. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder explains why this story is drawing so much debate.
Is this the case of a homeowner defending their property legally against potential burglars? Or is this a case of a TikTok prank gone horribly wrong? Maybe it's even a little bit of both. These are the questions prosecutors here at the Spotsylvania County Courthouse are trying to answer tonight. And at the heart of all of this mystery and all of the speculation taking place on social media, a teenager is dead. And his family tells me that their lives feel shattered. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was a senior at Massaponax High School in Spotsy. His stepfather says Michael played lacrosse, football, and he wrestled. But at about 3
Hey, y'all heard that right? It says stepfather. So obviously this is a broken home of a white child. So I don't want to hear all that shit about broken homes in the black community because obviously, clearly, this child was not having a father in his life. Now it's another guy stepping in to be a stepfather. We don't know if he's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or none of that shit. But clearly his mama left his daddy. Right? We heard that right. I'm going to make sure I point those out because I get tired of hearing that shit. Y'all in the black community don't keep your families together. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. You better stop with that nonsense. Y'all right there with us.
3 a.m. Saturday, just hours before the high school prom later that night, Michael was shot and killed by a homeowner on Mackenzie Lane. The homeowner, who has not been named.
Hold on, did y'all hear that shit? The motherfucker he went out doing this shit. The child went out here doing this shit the night before prom. So you knocking and banging on people's doors, aka possibly breaking into people's homes the night before your prom. Interesting.
But at about 3 a.m. Saturday, just hours before the high school prom later that night, Michael was shot and killed by a homeowner on Mackenzie Lane. The homeowner, who has not been named.
3 a.m. 3 a.m. High school student. 3 a.m.
Named nor charged with any crime, says Michael and 2 other teens tried to break into their house. News 4 knocked on the door of the home, but no one answered. Tonight, the Spotsylvania County Commonwealth's attorney is reviewing the evidence to determine if charges are appropriate or if this was a justifiable shooting. But here's where this story takes a turn. So there were 3 teens involved. Michael was shot and killed. A second teen, 17 years old, was grazed by a bullet. While that teen was in the hospital, detectives interviewed him. He said, "We weren't breaking in to try to steal anything." He told the detective they were doing ding-dong ditch pranks. recording them as videos. They were going to post them on TikTok. So that detective went and found the third teen that was involved. That teen wasn't shot. He wasn't injured in any way. But that teen had the exact same alibi and even said, here, take my cell phone. You'll find a video that we recorded at a different house doing the same prank earlier that night. The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office has not said whether or not that alibi checks out. But of course, we'll let you know as soon as we learn more.
Hey, you hear that? You hear the news is trying to portray it. Well, guess what? We found out a little bit more about the situation. We found out a little bit more about the situation. And yeah, we're going to go right here. Matter of fact, I ain't going to do that. Matter of fact, yeah, I will do it, man, because I've been watching this brother. Taylor House Publishing, man, I've been watching this brother. And shout out to this brother. I like his content. I watch it, bro. Shout out to you for doing this shit. I don't want to sway people on one side or the other. Because look, I'm on his side. I'm on his side with this, but I didn't want to come at it like this. But I want y'all to listen to what's going on right here, because supposedly these kids are out here, and I'm giving them kids, y'all, 17, 18 years old, about to graduate high school, kids. So when it's a black kid out there at 17, 18, well, we need to stop calling these grown ass men, because these 17, 18-year-olds, and they calling them kids because they white. When they black and they 17, 18-year-olds, they still kids too. Not grown ass men. But he's gonna go a little bit more depth on this, and I'm gonna show it real quick, like before we get to the final video tonight. Either way, though, we got somebody in jail right now for this.
Was one of 3 teens breaking into the man's house. Fox 5's Bob Barnard with the very latest from Fredericksburg.
Neighbors tell us the man who shot the teen at his home in this neighborhood overnight Saturday is in the military. The young man shot and killed was 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. Played lacrosse and football for Massaponax High School. Spotsylvania County Sheriff's officials say Bosworth and 2 juveniles were in the backyard of a home on Mackenzie Lane around 3.
Now, y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard what the news report, because, you know, the first news report happened the very day after. This is a couple days later. So we got more information. What did they say them kids were? Supposedly?
Spotsylvania County Sheriff's officials say Bosworth and 2 juveniles were in the backyard of a home on Mackenzie Lane around.
Backyard. I'm sorry, y'all. I done did nigga knocking before. Ding dong ditching before. I ain't never did that shit in my life in somebody's backyard. I'm just being real with you. I ain't never ding dong ditch in somebody's backyard. That don't even make no damn sense. You knock on their front porch door and you run. First off, I ain't never did this shit in somebody's backyard, and I never ain't did some shit in somebody's house at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Who these kids? I'm gonna do exactly what they say when it comes to black kids doing stupid shit. Why are these 17, 18-year-old white children out at 3 o'clock in the morning banging on people's doors, let alone in their backyard? Yeah, I fucking said it. I said it. Why the fuck are any children, let alone some white children, because you know white kids don't do no wrong. White people don't do no wrong. Why the hell is anybody in somebody's backyard at 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning, the night before prom, banging on somebody's door? Anybody? Anybody? Because let it been some black kids that did that shit. You know what they'll say? They deserve to be dead.
Jesus Christ.
We already know what they would say. They deserve to be in the grave. They were criminals. They're all this. Let's look up their criminal history. We're not going to talk about them having straight A's. We're not going to talk about them playing on the team. We're not going to talk about them being captains of anything. We're going to talk about them being criminals. 3 o'clock in the morning, the night before prom, in somebody's backyard, banging on their door, kicking on their door. Well, let's find out what the homeowner, the one who shot, the one who's in the military, because, you know, we support the troops. Let's see how much they support the troops.
3 in the morning Saturday, Saturday, trying to break into the house when they were confronted by the homeowner. Bosworth was shot and killed, one of the other boys wounded in the gunfire. Neighbors tell us they heard as many as 8 gunshots and that the teens had tried to break into other homes on the street that night.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Damn.
Wait. What did the news report? Oh, so now we got a different news report. We ain't got one that's being sugarcoating for the other people. What did they say? Because neighbors are responding to it. And look at this nice neighborhood. Look at the nice neighborhood when he says it again. What did he just say? What did the news report just say?
Other boys wounded in the gunfire. Neighbors tell us they heard as many as 8 gunshots and that the teens had tried to break into other homes on the street that night.
So hold on. We have other neighbors in the community. Look at this nice neighborhood, y'all. Y'all see this nice neighborhood? This at least $250,000 to $450,000 homes right here. Nice neighborhood. Shouldn't be no crime going around in this neighborhood, right? But suppose we got 3 white young boys, 18, 17, some other things, on the night before prom at 3 o'clock in the morning, supposedly ding-dong ditching, according to what they're saying. But we have neighbors in that community saying these people were trying to break into homes. Break into homes. And this is what they gave to the news network. They reported to the news. They were trying to break into homes. They were trying to break into homes. We gotta see how this play out. We gotta see how the rest of this play out.
Boys who survived tell investigators they were only recording themselves dinging and ditching for a TikTok challenge, not trying to commit burglaries. Reaction here in the Fredericksburg neighborhood this afternoon.
I'm sorry the kid did that. I wish that he hadn't done what he did because he had to pay the ultimate price. Nobody likes that. Nobody, not even the homeowner. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Not a good idea. It's not safe. Just don't do it.
Because you don't know what's on the other side of the door.
Right. Just don't do it.
Of course, she's talking about the whole notion of dinging and ditching. We're told grief counselors were at Massaponax High School today. Michael Bosworth was set to graduate.
Now, y'all heard, like those are people that would live in the neighborhood. Those are white people that live in the neighborhood. And they probably had their houses kicked on, banged on, somebody trying to break into their shit too. That's allegedly. And you see what their response is. Because they know who the neighbor is. And y'all gonna see who the neighbor is, the one who fired them shots. It's like, look, man, he paid the ultimate price playing stupid games. The lady saying, look, don't do that. Let's find out who the guy is. Because this guy's been sitting in jail, y'all, with no bond. The guy who defended his home. Castle doctrine don't apply to him. Self-defense do not apply to this guy. I want y'all to see who this guy is. Because even the neighbor said, these same 3 kids, these same 3 individuals were trying to break into other homes. They're out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Where are their fucking parents? Where are their parents? We always talk about everybody else in their upbringing, their childhood. Where are their parents? These 3 white kids, these Christian kids, where are their fucking parents? When they're out at 3 o'clock in the morning kicking on people's doors in their backyard. They just ding-dong ditching, but they in the backyard. Once again, hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all the neighborhood one more time. They're in the backyard of these neighborhoods. You know there's a fence around each one of those houses. How the fuck they get in the backyard? Did they go through the fence? Did they jump the fence? But they're in somebody's backyard. And they're just ding-dong ditching. Okay now.
Later this month, we're told Saturday night's prom went on as scheduled. Michael's stepfather, who I spoke to on the phone this afternoon, says they are mourning their son. He was a brother also as well, and they say they appreciate the love and support they're getting from the community.
All right. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High.
You know it.
And all things that are hidden shall be revealed.
You know
You see the news and the police said that Michael Bosworth and the other white teens were in the man's backyard trying to break in to his house. And it was said by neighbors that they tried to break in to at least 8 other houses that night. And Tyler Chase Butler evidently caught them in the backyard. He might have had cameras. He might have, caught them coming through the door. You see, they are very vague in the other articles of saying where they was found at. But unfortunately, as the neighbor said, hey, nobody likes it, but, he shouldn't have done it. And even the other white lady said they shouldn't have done it. Now, Tyler Chase Butler is evidently serving his country. He said he was in the military man, willing to give his life for his country, and yet he is in jail under, I think, no bond because 3 white children allegedly tried to break into his house. Now, they tried to say that they were doing the ding dong ditch prank, right? But a caller called me earlier. He was like, wait a minute. If they're ding dong ditching and running, then he wouldn't have been able to shoot him. Like, you ding dong and you run, right?
Part right there, y'all. And this is why I say we have a very bad problem in this country. But I always tell people this because I know the people that feel some type of way. I'm just gonna tell you this ahead of time before I break it down. Go ahead.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Just want to get that out the way for them folks in the back that feel some type of way. If you are as a child, because we're gonna use the logic right now, 2020 type shit. If you're ding dong ditching, you're knocking on the door, you're ringing the doorbell, and then you're running. Unless a motherfucker's right at the door, or you're the slowest runner in the world, there is no possible way that anybody could come outside that house and shoot you. No possible way. But we heard the news report. They were in the backyard. And other neighbors said they tried to break into their homes too. Which would give more reason why somebody, a homeowner, would have enough time to go arm themselves, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, arm themselves, come downstairs and put a bullet in one of y'all motherfuckers. Actually, 2 of y'all motherfuckers. But supposedly the narrative is they were just ding dong ditching. Them kids would have been gone. I've done it before myself. And guess what? I was a runner. I was a track star. That night I was. Ran all the way around the block. Wasn't even staying in the goddamn neighborhood. We ran all the way around the block. Which was stupid, immature, shouldn't have been doing it. But guess what? We knew how to get the fuck on. There's no way that the homeowner would have came and got you if you were ding dong ditching. There's no possible way. 3 o'clock in the morning? 3 o'clock in the morning. The night before prom, which means prom is usually on a Friday or Saturday. So that either was on a Friday night or a Thursday night. And preferably, it was probably a Thursday night. And somehow y'all got shot in his backyard. But y'all was just ding dong ditching. Okay. I'm going to let him keep going, y'all. Because it don't even make no sense. But the most egregious part is about to come out later. Because he said already that the guy's in jail with no bond. He thinks. Now, the guy is in jail with no bond.
So how, if they're ding dong in addition, does he have time to go upstairs? It's a 2-story house. Go upstairs, get his gun, or get his gun and come downstairs, open the door, and then fire on you if you are ding dong ditching. Now, everybody, we like I said in the last video, some people call it ding dong ditch. We call it nigga knocking.
Yeah, that's
but
what we
first,
call
we didn't do it at 3 in the morning. And secondly, we didn't go to nobody's back door. Because if you're in the backyard, you got to run all the way around to the front. That gives you more time to get caught. And they said that my man fired 8 shots. One of them hitting Michael Bosworth Jr. and the other grazing another child. And then, I guess the other one was the one who stayed alive to say that we were doing a TikTok prank, right? And now my brother even told me too, he said, now they're not just knocking on the doors, they actually kicking doors. Like it's all over TikTok. So I looked it up and I'm going to show you what these kids are doing right here. Here is an example of a ding dong ditch prank. If this is what they were doing. But even if
and y'all, I want y'all to really see this. This is what they putting on TikTok, and these kids are so look. They don't have they don't have fathers in their lives. It don't matter if you white, black, whatever the fuck. America has pushed a narrative to not have men in their kids' lives, and this is what kids are seeing on the internet, and supposedly, in this situation, supposedly imitating. Check it out.
This is what they were doing. They still, if it's only 3 of them, they had enough time to run. But I can see if they did do this, how that man pulled out his gun and started instantly firing, whether it's through the door, outside the door, because if somebody bangs on your door like this at 3 in the morning, then once again, you don't know what's going on. So you're going to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Watch this right here.
3 hours later.
How about we apologize and then she apologizes? I'll see if she's okay with it. If you apologize to them, they said they're okay with apologizing to you. Here's the thing. I won't press charges. Trying to get a quick name. I know you heard us through the door. We're sorry for knocking on your door. It was not our intention to knock you. Dang it. You want me to press charges?
Yeah, go for it. Are you serious? That's not an apology. That's a threat.
We'll apologize for banging on the door. Not.
All right, so I'm gonna.
These kids saw that shit on the internet, which I would have went out there and slapped fire from both of them. I would have slapped fire from all three of them. This motherfucker basically almost did a goddamn backflip on your door. Well, I'm sorry for knocking on your door. Knocking on the door, huh? That's what y'all did? And they did this inside an apartment complex, inside of a goddamn building, and left their fucking camera there. See, look, these kids ain't got no fathers in their life. These kids ain't got no fathers in their life, because these women done ran these fathers away, man, being evil-ass demons. And these kids out here just doing stupid shit that can get their ass laid the fuck down. And had the nerve to say, we won't press charges. Bitch, what? You won't press charges for you coming to my shit and banging on my door? Oh, I guess you don't press charges because I grabbed your camera after you ran off like a little hoe from banging on my door and filming yourself doing it. Shout out to Big Back for life. We got Big Back up in the building. Salute. Yeah, this is crazy, man.
Ended there, but you see how 3 kids were violently banging on the door, and then 2 kids Chinese drop kicked the door, and then another one turned around and tried to donkey kick the door. And evidently this lady came out, saw the camera, grabbed the camera. They called the police to get their camera back, and you heard them at least, apologize. We're sorry for banging on your door. So if this is the case, which the neighbors have debunked the ding dong ditch thing, the neighbors have debunked that, saying that these kids were around the neighborhood trying to break in other houses that night. But even if that's the case, somebody banging on your door, like that lady actually had to call the police. So you tell me in this video, y'all let me know in the comments, if somebody's banging on your door like that at 3 in the morning and you got something in there to protect yourself, you got your family in there, you ain't gonna come out with guns blazing. But that is not true. Even at the end of this video, they said, well, this is this notion of ding dong ditch pranking. You know what I'm saying? This brings the notion of ding dong ditch. Once again, it's a notion, but that is not what really happened, because just like the brother told me, like, if you ding dong ditching, you run. There's no way if you're ding dong ditching, you're gonna stay there and let the person open the door. That is not what it is. And once again, the other news story that is focusing on the ding dong ditch prank going wrong, saying, well, yeah, the other student had a video of earlier in the night. Well, if you're doing this for TikTok, then that video should be available too, right? And so even that news, if you go back and watch the last video I did about it, that news commentator said, well, we're going to see, we really want to see if this was a ding dong ditch prank or not, which means they know more. See, this article that you just saw today was more forthright. They said it blatantly. 3 teens were in the backyard trying to break into his house. Police are saying that. Police say they were trying to break into his house. So why is my brother arrested? And I've had contact with my brother's family, and he sent me a link. So once again, I had to vet him. He showed me some pictures with him, but yet and still, I haven't talked to him, and I asked for some more information, but I did say I will share this link. So I'm going to share this go or something like that. I'm going to share that link in the description, but I'm going to give the disclaimer. I got this from a perceived family member. I haven't talked to him. I haven't verified it. So, donate at your own risk. Do your.
Man, I'm just going ahead and stop that right there. Stop that right there, because we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the egregious part of it. Y'all can find the story and find out how, if y'all want to donate to help this man out in a situation. But we have a black veteran, not even a veteran, a current service member who is currently sitting in jail right now with no bond over a situation that happened at the very beginning of this month, where somebody was in his backyard, 3 individuals. And that's how I'm going to describe it. For all the people that get mad and I don't say what the fuck, their ages and things of that sort, kiss my ass. 3 individuals were in his backyard, and they were supposedly, according to the neighbors, trying to break into homes. And he came out obviously had enough time to grab his firearm at 3 a.m. in the morning and fire off 8 shots at their ass, deleting one, grazing another, and another one got away. And the excuse that these people gave was that they were just doing some ding-dong ditching, even though they were in somebody's backyard. But this man happens to be black, y'all. This service member happens to be black, and these 3 individuals happen to be white. And that seems like all it needs to be in America nowadays. That seems like that's all it needs to be in America for somebody to get locked up with no bond. If it's a white person that did something against a black person, that's all it seems to be. That's all it seems to be. And I'm going to show you something because Fox News actually covered this. And I want y'all to see what Fox News had to say. That racist ass motherfucking network. And then I'm going to get y'all to find a video for the night and we're going to get the hell up out of here. But I want y'all to see what Fox News had to say. And I'm definitely making sure this shit is on fast forward because I don't fuck with their network. They already going to try to copyright strike this shit anyways. But I'm still going to cover what the fuck they said. So check it out real quick. Like,
media trend turned deadly after a Virginia high school student was shot and killed Saturday for doing a TikTok door knock prank. 27-year-old Tyler Chase Butler was charged Tuesday with killing 18-year-old.
Look at that veteran right there. Look at that military member right there. They trying to depict him as a criminal for shooting at people that were trying to kick in his back door. He's a criminal. They depicted him as a criminal for defending his home. Think about where we are in America right now. Would he be a criminal if he was a white dude and there was 3 black teens trying to break into his house? Ask yourself that question.
High school senior Michael Bosworth Jr. So in order to prevent another tragedy like this, how can families talk to their children to make them think twice? Family therapist Tom Kirsting joins me now. Tom, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this. I mean, this is every parent's worst nightmare. This 18-year-old thinks he's doing something innocent and funny. He winds up dead, and now 2 parents are in mourning and will never be the same.
It's so sad. I counsel, a lot of teenagers at my private practice, and I've had kids recently that tell me they do this. They go out and do the ding dong ditch. But the real issue is with
at 3 o'clock in the morning. At 3 o'clock in the morning, because y'all supposed to be the people that raise y'all kids better than everybody else. Y'all teach them right for wrong, unlike every other race of people, and y'all raise the best kids. So 3 o'clock in the morning, you talk to them people that had their kids out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
With social media now, and especially young, vulnerable minds that are just trying to fit in.
Oh, they're vulnerable.
Teenagers by nature like to do what everybody else does. They kind of follow the crowd, and it creates these trends. And unfortunately, these things can end in tragedy. So parents really need to sit down and have conversations, talk to your kid about this situation, about the potential consequences of doing actions that teenagers do.
Yeah, what more can parents say, though? A lot of times when you're a teenager, the last people you want to hear from are the adults in your life, like the parents and the teachers.
That's very true. So it's got to start young. We have to get back around the dinner table, with our children at a young age, raise them the right way, raise them with values, have deep, meaningful conversations with them.
So are you saying that these kids that did what they did and one of them lost a life and one got shot and another one got away, they weren't raised with values? Are you saying that? These are white kids. You sure who you talking about, right? Because I thought y'all did no wrong. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let them keep going.
So that we prepare them when they reach adolescence, to be better decision makers.
Yeah, and also maybe raise them with self-confidence. I mean, build up your kids so that they don't follow the crowd and they feel like they can be their own individual.
I'm so glad you said that because I talk about that all the time. We hear anti-bullying, anti-this, anti-so-and-so. What if we teach pro-confidence? Now, a kid that is confident, truly confident, not an easy task. It becomes relatively immune, to have to do what everybody else does, getting involved with, doing drugs and things like that nature, or drinking. But it's really, really an important thing. It's hard to drive that message, but we have to lead by example.
Yeah, and there are just so many of these challenges out there, these social media things.
There are so many. Listen to how they talking about 3 white kids, man. Listen to how they talking about 3 white kids. Do y'all ever hear this type of commentary when it comes to a black child, 15, 16, 17, 18, doing something that is criminal? Do you ever hear these motherfuckers on Fox News ever talk about,
we just need to be better parents. We need to no. They talk about how it's a criminal activity that they have inside of them. They always do it. Look at what they're doing. This is just a but you know, we need to be better. We need to do this. We need to do. I knew I was gonna get pissed off watching this shit.
Things like there's one called the Skull Breaker Challenge, the Blackout Challenge, where people were choking other kids to get them to pass out, the Benadryl Challenge, remember the Tide Pod thing? Oh, like every day it's something new, and that's part of the problem because it's hard for people.
And most of the people doing that shit is white kids. That Tide Pod Challenge, I didn't see a lot of black folks putting Tide Pods in their mouth. Now I know some did, but I saw a lot more white videos of kids putting Tide Pods in their mouth, which is like, really? Tide Pods. The shit that you wash your clothes with? Seems like some people are more susceptible to the bullshit.
Parents to keep up with it all.
Yeah, and the kids are they're spending their lives in front of these devices. I'm doing a lecture later this morning, for high school students about I've been talking about screen time, mental health for many years. And but interestingly, I remember being on here years ago talking about that Tide Pod.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about what a teenager that they're actually going to ingest something that can kill them.
I know, but that's the way of the world right now. So it's why it's so important to have discussions like this. Also, this incredibly.
Oh yeah, okay. It ain't just your community; it's the world now. It's the world. It's the way of the world. I ain't seen nobody in India putting no goddamn Tide Pods in their mouth. I ain't seen nobody in China putting no Tide Pods in their mouth. I ain't seen nobody in South Africa putting no Tide Pods in their mouth. I ain't seen nobody in Australia putting no Tide Pods in their mouth. But I damn sure seen a lot of white American children putting Tide Pods in their mouth. But it's just the way of the world. It's amazing how we can just dissolve that to everybody. Say everybody problem when it seemed to be your problem.
Disturbing news out of the FBI yesterday. They announced that they have arrested 205 people tied to this online predator network called.
Man, nobody want to hear about that bullshit. You see how quick they try to switch the goddamn topic? Like, man, come on with that shit, man. I don't really be. Look, I don't fuck Fox News, bro. Ain't nothing but a propaganda network. And it's amazing to me that people still sit around and watch them motherfuckers when they literally paid $500 million for lying about a presidential election. And people still watch them as if they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Truthworthy? It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. We have a big problem in society, y'all. We have a big problem in society. But I got another video for y'all. And this actually is the final video for the night. And I'm going to do a quick rundown of everything, a quick recap of everything, and my final thoughts on this shit. But final video of the night, man. And this goes back to the main topic of these police and society. A lot of people say that these cops have a hard job, and they do a really hard job, man. It's very dangerous, and things can happen to them at any time, and we need to give them some leeway. But when things pop off, they always try to talk as if they hold themselves to a higher standard than the rest of society. Well, what do they do when their own system checks them? I want y'all to watch something. And I want y'all to pay very close attention to what we're about to see. Because in my mind, this shit was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious as hell to me. It was hilarious to me. And it needs to happen on a daily basis. But this person probably got some problems coming on their way, which we need to correct that so it doesn't happen. But either way, though, check it out.
You got it, Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm giving you a ticket.
For what?
For one, you parked illegally, and two, your lights aren't on.
You can clearly see I'm a police officer. I'm your own official police business.
What does that mean?
It means I'm on police business. I can park wherever I want.
No, you're parked illegally. You don't have your lights on. How are you at a call? Your lights aren't on.
They don't always need to be on.
When did that happen?
Why would my lights need to be on?
Because you said you were at a call. You were on a
official
call.
Police business.
No, you said you got a call.
I said I was on official police business.
Oh, what does that mean?
Now, I will give the cop props on this. He never said that he was on a call. He never said he was on a call. She just stuck with that one, but he didn't say that, baby. I'm sorry, baby girl. You in the right, but he didn't say that.
Exactly what I said. Official police business.
Okay, sir, just let me do my job, okay?
You're not giving me a ticket.
Yes, I am.
You're not. You can't do. I'm clearly a police officer. We're on the same side.
You're parked illegally. That does not give you a right because you're a police officer to park illegally.
Ma'am, I was on official police business.
I understand what you're saying, but you are parked illegally. Your lights aren't on. When you're at official police business, your lights are supposed to be on.
Look, I get this little power trip you're on. I don't know what you went through.
I'm just doing my job.
Here, now that you have this little bit of power, you need to be exercising on. But I promise you're exercising it on the wrong person.
I'm just doing my job.
You're not doing your job. If you were doing your job, you would have left the police car alone. Clearly, I'm a police officer. Clearly, this is a police car. You have no reason to be issuing me a ticket.
Okay. You're getting a ticket. Anything else I can do for you?
Oh, there's a lot that's going to transpire from this. I promise.
Okay, sir. Have a nice day.
Now, for y'all in the back, for the slow people in the back, I'm gonna let y'all watch it one more time. One more time, because I'm about to make a point about this that's really gonna probably piss some people off, but I don't care if it do. But one more time, because you see, he got that look that cup of coffee in his hand. Look like he went and got his ass a cup of coffee, right? But he on official police business. He on official police business, but he got no time to get himself a cup of coffee. Okay, let's go. Let's run it one more time.
You got it, Rick. Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm giving you a ticket.
For what?
For one, you're parked illegally, and two, your lights aren't on.
You can clearly see I'm a police officer. I'm your own official police business.
What does that mean?
Means I'm on police business. I can park wherever I want.
No, you're parked illegally.
I'm not
You don't have your lights on. How are you at a call? Your lights aren't on.
They don't always need to be on.
When did that happen?
Why would my lights need to be on?
Because you said you were at a call. You were
on
on a
official
call.
police business.
No,
Don't
you
put words
just
in my mouth.
you said you got a call.
I said I was on official police business.
Oh, what does that mean?
Exactly what I said. Official police business.
Okay, sir, just let me do my job, okay?
You're not giving me a ticket.
Yes, I am.
You're not. You can't do. I'm clearly a police officer. We're on the same side.
You're parked illegally. That does not give you a right because you're a police officer to park illegally.
Ma'am, I was on official police business.
I understand what you're saying, but you are parked illegally. Your lights aren't on. When you're at official police business, your lights are supposed to be on.
Look, I get this little power trip you're on. I don't know what you went through.
I'm
or
just doing my job.
Here, now that you have this little bit of power, you need to be exercising on. But I promise you're exercising it on the wrong person.
I'm just doing my job.
You're not doing your job. If you were doing your job, you would have left the police car alone. Clearly, I'm a police officer. Clearly, this is a police car. You have no reason to be issuing me a ticket.
Okay.
Hey, look, y'all. He said that you have no reason to be issuing me a ticket. Y'all see this sign right here in the back? One side says for the bus. One side says no parking this way. But she has no reason to be writing him a ticket because he's a police officer. Okay.
You're getting a ticket. Anything else I can do for you?
Oh, there's a lot that's going to transpire from this. I promise.
Okay, sir. Have a nice day.
Then he issued her a threat. Oh, there's going to be a lot transpiring from this. Look, y'all. I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day, y'all. I am waiting for the day that Americans finally wake the fuck up. And I'm including my racist white folks too. And you know, a lot of y'all motherfuckers fit that category. But I'm waiting on y'all too. I'm waiting on y'all to realize that y'all are living in an occupation. Y'all are living in tyranny. And when y'all gonna open y'all motherfucking mouths and actually say something, not when a motherfucker lie to you and tell you that somebody stole an election from you. I ain't talking about that time. I'm talking about for all the taxes that they put on your head, for the harassment that you constantly get from police officers, for your public officials that take your tax money, that don't do their job and look at you like you owe them something, like you need to get on your knees and kiss their ass. When are you going to open your mouth and say something? For your politicians that you elect that don't do a goddamn thing for you, but somehow seem to always give grants to Walmart, Foxconn, and Blackwater. When you going to open your mouth and say something? But we're going to start, y'all, as we've been doing, with the police first. We're going to start with the police first. See, Miss Jackson, School of Justice said the rules don't apply to him. He's a police officer. Just pay the ticket like everybody else. Damn. You know what the funny thing is in this situation? And this is the funniest part about it. The city would have to pay the ticket. Think about that. He threatened that woman and said, oh no, there's going to be some more coming from this because she wrote him a ticket for parking illegally. When the city is the one, your fellow taxpayers in that city are going to have to foot the bill for the ticket that this officer got. It's pretty much the city taxing the city with the taxpayers' money. Think about how crazy that is. And he got pissed off about it. It looked like this motherfucker parked where he wanted to park, went and got him a cup of coffee. I wish we could have seen his other hand. He might have had a donut in the bitch. And he got mad because this lady, this black lady, clearly was doing her job in writing tickets for anybody that was parked illegally. You're parked this way on this sign, regardless whether you agree with the sign or not. And I think this is crazy because guess what? We pay for them roads. I should be able to park where the fuck I want. But they say at the certain hours, you can park wherever you want. She's doing her job. The same thing they say all the time when they fucking people up and shooting them in the back and shit. They're just doing their job. She's doing her job and you got an attitude problem and you threaten her to say that there was going to be something else that comes from this. And lo and behold, how do we even get the video? Did anybody even think about that shit? How do we even get the video? Because that's his body cam. Think about that. It wasn't nothing but a public records request. We need to actually a lot of people need to open their eyes, man. We had an officer that, and I'm referring back, and we're gonna go down the line, y'all. We had an officer that pulled up on an individual and just upped the gun on him in plain clothes. This officer's in plain clothes. Lights not initiated, just up the gun, jumped out of the SUV and up the gun on somebody, ran up on him, put his hands all on him, assaulted this man, pulled him off his bike, yanked his helmet off, his hat and everything. This man ran away for his life. We turn around and look at it. Hindsight 2020, this man was being charged with assaulting an officer, not on the camera, evading arrest. I guess you could say evading arrest but he didn't know the guy was an officer, so you take that off the board. And the police department doubled down on it, charged this man, and convinced this man to agree to pleading to being guilty for traffic infractions that no one saw. Hit him with felonies. But once the video came out, they dropped the felonies. We got another case where we got a service member defending his home because we got 3 bad-raised, ignorant ass, fucking inbred ass kids knocking on people's doors at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck if somebody feels some type of way about it. We done heard all the things you done said about ours. You can take one. These degenerate ass motherfuckers are knocking on people's doors at 3 o'clock in the morning and one gets shot. Well, 2 get shot, 1 gets deleted. And we got a man sitting in jail. We have an issue in America. I like to operate my life on what's right and what's wrong. Now, maybe my moral compass is a little bit different than other people, And I'm pretty sure it is. I'm damn sure it is. In these situations, the cop that assaulted that man on that motorcycle, he's wrong. That's what my moral compass tell me. The guy that is sitting in jail right now for defending his home, him being in jail right now is wrong. The cop that just caught an attitude with a meter maid, because that's what people like to call him all the time, is wrong. Now, if your compass tells you otherwise, let me know. I'll disagree with you. American citizens need to wake up and understand that just because somebody has a gun and a badge does not put them above the law. It does not. We need to get out of that mindset. Just because you have a badge, you're not above the law. Just because you have money, status, and fame, you're not above the law. We are all, regardless of whether we signed up for it, because none of us actually signed a contract and said we agree to this shit, but we're all seeming to be held accountable to it, besides a select few. We are all accountable to these laws of the land. And we do not need to allow bullshit to keep transpiring in our society. A lot of people think they only do it to certain folks. These folks only think they do it to these folks, so they're okay. Regardless of whether you know it, they do it to people that look like you. So I would hope one day that people will wake the fuck up in America, because, dude, this shit is going to crash and burn. It's going to crash and burn if we don't change this shit. This mindset that Americans have when it comes to their fellow Americans and the way things are done when it comes to people in political positions. And cops are political, y'all. They come from the slave catchers. That's political. Shit's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. And I really want to change the minds of people. I really want to change the minds of people so they actually look at shit objectively. Like, really look at these motherfuckers around you, man. Don't just always hear a story from the cops and believe it. Don't just always look at the story and believe it if it comes from a civilian. Wait. And wait for some information to come out. Wait for some video evidence to come out. But we have so many people, and honestly, on the other side, that will jump and believe whatever the police and the police department say. I don't understand how they don't understand people have an incentive to lie and cover their ass. I just don't get that. If I'm a cop and I committed a crime, hell yeah, I'm gonna lie about it. Just like a civilian would lie if they committed a crime too. What the fuck is the difference? You think that badge magically makes you some magical human being? No, fuck, you're still a human being. You put your pants on the same way I do. Put your shoes on, your shirt on the same way I do. You just happen to put on different ones. Look, man, I ain't finna beat the dead horse. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know when y'all come around home Thursdays what it is. Y'all hit that like, y'all hit that subscribe, man. Share the videos, turn the notice on, man. Become a channel member, man. We back monetized, man. We back monetized, man. I'm gonna start putting out some members only content, man, where I can get real dark with it, because you know how YouTube is. But man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share the videos, turn the notice on, all that in the bag of chips, and your boy up out of here, man. I catch y'all in the next one. As always, man. Peace. All right.
That's if they really find something.
They say I'm a big dog. I make all my niggas better. I feel like I'm Chris Paul. I serve all the purest cocaine, don't need no fentanyl. He faking this persona for the bitches, call him Rick Ross. While I fuck on your bitch right by the door, I told her get lost. I see cash up in my sleep like Trader Visionary. I keep sticks up on my side, got more than the military. Got up in that pussy, leave it creamy, Ben and Jerry's. Take off like a jet, I'm feeling like I'm Jason Terry. These niggas hate it, but these bitches love the way I'm shining though. I might get 100 years if the police find a dope. Screaming for my baby mama, cause I found a finer hoe.